Hello everyone. Welcome back to our 413 Esports Championship Series. I am joined by my co-caster Rad. Rad, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful today, Octave. Thank you very much. I'm not here very often, but to be here today is very exciting. I used to be a part of the OG casting squad back in the Oasis days, but moving into 413, I've been busy specifically behind the scenes, and to be on the broadcast here with you today, Octave, is a dream come true.
Fantastic. It's always nice to see a familiar face back, of course. Uh, so I think we're in for a relatively exciting match today. I mean, we have 4-3 Havoc going up against Potaters, of course. Havoc being one of the higher tier teams, or should I say the highest tier team, sitting at a cool 6-0 as of right now. No one has yet to take them down. However, Potaters on the other end of things, definitely improving as of late. They were able to take their first win. I believe that was last week. And so they've been steadily improving throughout this tournament. So it could be a little bit deceptive as in terms of who's actually going to be taking this one. Rad, what do you think?
This is a very interesting matchup, actually, a lot more interesting than the standings would suggest. Now, Potaters actually have 2 wins, as opposed to 2 other teams in the standings that that only have a 1 win so far. So, especially lately, I want to see the raid boss Orago Legend, and what he can do against the Havoc squad that we've seen being so dominant over the past couple of weeks. So, is this gonna be a quick match? I don't know, Octave. I don't know.
Very, very true. It's a little bit up in the air. Like if you asked me, a couple weeks ago, I would definitely say Havoc, uh, the dominant favorites, I would say, to win this. But Potaters, they've shown some signs of life as of late. I mean, that second win that they have in the standings, that is from, I believe, bad at Overwatch, their
Correct.
disqualification. But that other win they got, a well-deserved one, I should say. So definitely been seeing some improvements from them, and yeah, I'm super excited to see where this series is going to go.
I am as well, Octave. I think this week has been very interesting altogether. Now, specifically for these two teams, I expect there to be a lot of back and forth. Actually, we've seen Havoc gone on the defense a little bit more frequently than they have at the start of the season, whereas Potaters have been slowly but steadily clawing their way back up. I always imagine, Potaters to be something that is just very vicious when cornered. And they've definitely shown that in the past couple of weeks here in the 4-3 Esports Championship Series.
Yeah, very true. Steadily clawing their way back up into the standings, with help, of course, from a Ragu legend. That guy's an absolute beast, I should say. But all that being said, I think we should take a look real quick at the fixtures for this week that we are going to be seeing. We have, of course, seen a couple of these games this week already played. But we did see UAH Charger Blue take a 3-0 against 4-3 Riot, and we saw 4-3 Havoc take that thrilling 3-2 against 4-3 Nightshade. Yeah, that was an absolute thriller. That was one of the closest games that 4-3 Havoc has had so far. The other closest probably being against WVU Mountaineers in the first week of this tournament. So, a couple of teams have come close to taking down that Havoc roster, but no one has quite yet succeeded.
Yeah, on our fixture screen, we'll definitely be able to display that very clearly. Looking at this week's matches, we've had three already. Um, as you were saying, earlier this week we've seen Charge of Blue take down. Actually, I think this was yesterday even. They took down Riot 3-0. And while the scoreline does suggest that it was a very dominant performance, Riot has definitely shown signs of life. Today we're gonna see not just Potato Steak on Havoc, but we will also see Ascent. Sorry, not Ascent. Catalyst take on U New Haven Varsity as the second match later today after Potato Steak on Havoc. And of course, earlier this week we've seen Havoc in their second match. Havoc and Catalyst have in fact, been assigned two matches this week. But we've seen Havoc take out or take down rather 4-3 Nightshade earlier this week in a very very close 3-2 match, and this translates to the standings for this week after 3 out of the 5 matches have been completed. And specifically, what we can see here that's very interesting is the battle for the sub top. I want to say there's a lot of teams right now with 3 or 4 wins and a team with 5 wins in WVU Mountaineers. I think the top 2/3 have been made clear as of recently. In that being predominantly Havoc and the Mountaineers, and Nightshade actually after a 3-0 win over Catalyst. But you can see that Catalyst being the 3-0 or 0-3 team that they are, they actually have a better map differential at this time. And they, if they were to win the match later tonight, they'd actually go and go up another win and end up with 5-2. Regardless of the outcome of that match tonight, they have a map differential of 6 maps, and it will not quite be enough to beat the map differential of the much more dominant WVU Mountaineers. But specifically looking at the subtop between Catalyst, Nightshade, Charger Blue, and Ascent, there's a lot of places that can still move up and down, a lot of teams that can still go higher or lower. Now, as you know, looking at the bottom half of this table, the top 8 teams will qualify for the playoffs. So Potaters, they've only had 2 map wins now, and they are 1 map ahead or 1 win ahead of University New Haven Varsity and Riot. But getting a match win even is incredibly important for Potaters as they are sitting right now in number 7. If they drop, if they lose the match today, it's going to be real rough to not only stay ahead of University New Haven Varsity and Riot, but to make sure that they um, get the match wins and the map differential that they need to still qualify for those playoffs. Octave.
Yeah, very true. I gotta say, I kind of feel bad for 4-3 Riot. They were able to take their first fantastic win against actually bad at Overwatch, but since they were disqualified, all of their matches became 3-0s. So unfortunately for Riot, that win that they worked so hard, the win they worked so hard for, unfortunately, it would have been that way either way. So while Potaters were uh, both Potaters and 4-3 Riot were able to get their first win. Potaters definitely able to uh, definitely able to get more out of that disqualification about it Overwatch. So
Yeah, but what I'm really curious about, looking at these standings, we see the results of the cumulative performance of the teams over the past couple of weeks. But what we don't see very well is how strong are these teams right now. So I'm just taking a sip of my Rogue Energy. I'm very curious to see and take a look at the Rogue Energy power rankings. But specifically curious about that ad production. Took a big sip of this blue raspberry Rogue Energy, and I'm just so happy to see these power rankings here, Octave. Like I said, in the standings at the top on the S tier, we have Havoc, WVU. They've been here for the entire duration of the season so far. But what is new is seeing Nightshade up there, and they've just really put in the work, and they've really shown that they are in fact a part of that S tier, and they belong there as of right now. Interestingly enough, Catalyst and Charger Blue on the A tier here, Octave, they've done their fair share of wins, and especially if you look at the standings, you can see Catalyst right now in third and Charger Blue right now in fifth. I think they are at home at the A tier. What do you think?
yeah, I can't help but agree. I'm glad 4-3 Nightshade was able to take that S tier spot. Really pushing 4-3 Havoc to their limit. They've been in that sort of A tier this entire tournament so far. But as of late, we've really seen some improvement from that Nightshade squad. So I think it's definitely more than justified to be able to put those guys in that S tier spot. Of course, Catalyst as well as UA's Charger Blue in that A tier. I also think that's a good placing for them. Uh, Catalyst they're in that third spot. I mean, if you're in third spot in the league, you really can't justify putting them any lower than the A tier.
I agree. I agree. Looking at the bottom half though of the Rogue Energy Power rankings, Ascent has been a bit. They have the points in the standings. They definitely are up there, but they've dropped a couple of matches against some of the teams. We did see them lose to Catalyst yesterday, and even though it was a 3-0, I think it was a lot closer than the scoreline would suggest. And especially going up against Havoc today, right after the pre-show, we have Potaters. Potaters, due to the 2 wins that they have instead of the 1 win for both New Haven Varsity and Riot, are leading the charge at the C tier. But you never know what's going to happen. They might actually uh, pull off an upset here against Havoc. We've not seen Havoc lose a match yet this season, but we've seen, especially over the past couple of weeks, that they are not invincible. They've started showing some cracks, and maybe a raid boss like Oraga Legend can exploit those.
Yeah, that's for certain. I would say Aragu Legend has been this Potatoes squad's just knight in shining armor. The guy has been showing up, performing every single match. He's been absolutely deadly on the Doomfist. And even if he's not on the Doomfist, he's been just producing great value on most of the heroes he's been playing thus far in the tournament so far. So I think this is going to be a pretty interesting match, even considering what the standings look like right now.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. But before we take a look at before we actually go and have our pre-match interviews with Wizard for Potaters and with I want to say Adam-esque. I keep trying to
Adam X,
Adam-esque.
I,
Thank you.
I,
So before we have those interviews, we're gonna take a look at the predictions here. I think Octave.
yeah, I think we can do our caster predictions here. Um, if I had to predict, I mean, as much as I've seen Potaters improve over these past few weeks, Havoc, they're 6-0 right now. I can't really go against them. I mean, I got to go with Havoc on this one. They've just looked so good.
Yeah, so I love seeing Potatoes play. I'm a big fan. I've seen them do very well, but they are going up against Havoc. I cannot go in against that prediction of yours, Octave. I think Havoc's going to end up taking the win at the end of the day as well.
All right, fantastic. That being said, I think we're just about ready to head into some pre-match interviews here. I'm pretty excited to see what these players are going to contribute in terms of opinions on this match. So that
Yep,
being said, I think we can head into our first pre-match interview with Wizard from the side of Potaters. Hopefully we can get them in here right there.
we
Rad, take it
can,
away.
in
Oh,
fact. Absolutely. Wizard,
hello.
how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, I gotta say. How about you guys?
We are doing fantastic. I just took a sip of my Rogue Energy. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch you guys pop off. Now, before we actually go into the match, though, I do want to ask you a couple of questions, Wizard. Um,
That's that's great. I have a couple of answers for you.
Excellent, perfect. It's a perfect match. I can tell already. So, um, you've recently joined the team. I think I want to say a week ago. Is that correct?
I've actually been on the team for quite a while. I joined about 2 years ago, but then I left and I came back about a month ago. We just haven't run me much.
Okay, I see. I did see you added in the roster changes section, but I think you did play last match. I'm not 100% certain on this, but my question for you specifically is, um, answered a little bit, in fact, that you said that you've been playing with the team for 2 years, but how have you been able to, um, you know, vibe with a team after such a long way away?
Um, I think honestly it came really easily. We all have the exact same extremely chaotic energy. So we go in to these games, these scrims, whatever we're doing, and we just have fun. Like we'll yell at ourselves, we'll mess around, that sort of thing. And so when I came in, I just provided this kind of energy that we all already have, and it kind of just clicked. And of course, we're still trying to improve on our individual level, and I think when we're able to do that, we'll be really good.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's very important to vibe and to have a good energy within the team, especially if you're going up against opponents that are a little bit more challenging, you could say, than some of the other opponents in the league. Having said that, Havoc is currently undefeated. What have you guys done specifically to prepare for Havoc?
What have we done to prepare for Havoc? Well, there are a couple things we've done. Mostly, I'm going to go back to what I previously said. We're working on our individual skill and being able to mesh with each other inside the game as good as we're able to mesh outside of the game. That being said, there are a couple of new looks we're considering bringing in. Some of them involve me, some of them involve other people. And what we are really hoping to do is just bring out these wacky comps we're kind of known for, specifically the Doomfist comp with running a Ragu on that. And hopefully, we're just going to catch them off guard and think that they're not going to be able to prepare for what we're bringing out at them.
I think you're doing the right thing, following that sort of strategy. We know that Havoc likes to play the Kree Reaper Brawl, and
Mhm.
in more recent weeks, they've brought out a lot of the double bubble. So I think bringing in wacky and new stuff to surprise them is a really good call. I have one more question for you. Any teammate that you would recommend us to look out for?
Any teammates? It's got to be Eucalyptus. I got to say it. This man is kind of on and off, but when he's on, he is on, and he will just go off and annihilate everything. Honestly, I have seen him in games. I think when he's on, there's not a McCree in the league, in this league, that's better than him.
I gotta say I agree with you. Eucalyptus has really shown star performances over the past couple of weeks, especially. Do you have any words for your opponents, Havoc, today?
Do I
Before we
have
send you
any
back,
words for Havoc? Expect the unexpected because it's gonna be coming at you full force.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Octave, anything you want to ask?
No, I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Rad.
All right. Thank you very much, Wizard, for taking some time to answer some questions. I'm going to go ahead and send you back to your team. Best of luck today, man.
All right, you too. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All
All right.
right. Fantastic. That being said, I think we can. I think we can get our second pre-match interview in here very shortly. That will be Adam-esque from the side of 413 Havoc. So hopefully we can get him in here shortly.
We are getting him in here actually right now, Octave.
Fantastic. There he is, Adam-esque, the man. I remembered how to pronounce your name this time. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm super excited to play against Potaters. I'm really scared of that one Aragu dude. His Doomfist is apparently the talk of the town. So Dacus and I have been really warming up our Brigida shield, slamming him into the wall, getting him ready to slam into his face when he comes in on our backline.
Sounds good to me. So you guys, I think it was earlier this week, I should say, you guys took down 4-3 Nightshade in a absolute thriller of a match. So how'd you guys feel after that win?
That was a hell of a match, and upon VOD reviewing, we noticed that like Nightshade had some I don't like definitely not some individual play issues, but I think some organizational problems that once they get those figured out, like they were pretty obvious. Once they get those figured out, I think they have the edge in that matchup. So we're kind of quaking in our boots and hoping that well, obviously they're our sister team, so we want them to get better, but we're really dreading that next time when we play if they have their organization all in a row.
All right, you heard it here first. Adam S thinks that 4-3 Nightshade is going to be the team to beat. I would say so. That being said, you guys 4-3 Havoc are still in the driver's seat. A cool 6-0, still undefeated. So, what's the game plan today to extend that win streak?
Definitely gonna try to shut down any Doomfist play we see happening. Honestly, I might like put up my channel points to try to bribe Oragu to join our team instead. So we'll see if that is like a valid strategy. Dude, if you're watching the stream, this goes out. I got 5.8k channel points that I can put your way if you throw the game. So keep that offer in mind. But yeah, just generally trying to remove the Doomfist from play and also keep the team morality up. Seb has to go in an hour and a half, so we're gonna try to make the map fast because we'll be down our best flex support at that point. But yeah, just those two things.
Sounds good to me. Of course, could you give me any hints on like some possible wacky comps or strats you're going to be using today?
Wacky comps or strats. Well, if we can get Jump Penny to let us do it and Sev has to go, Dacus and I run a mean Zen Brig, and we've been wanting to bring it out in comp matches for a while now, but so far it's been relegated to scrims only, and typically days when Jump's not there.
Okay, so hopefully we get to see that at some point during this tournament. I think that'd be pretty insane, to be honest. And
Yeah, I've been trying hard to run it.
yeah, I can imagine. And last but not least, is there any words you have for your opponents, which of course are the Potaters, before we start the match today?
Yeah, I mean, you guys I feel like they're awesome individual players, and when you bring that chaotic energy together, it can really be a scary team fight. So, ideally, I feel like you can make this game as chaotic and scary for us as possible. I want to see if you can test our organizational abilities and our abilities to keep our heads on straight in team fights, because I think that'd be like a really fun, interesting match to watch.
All right, perfect. That being said, thank you very much, Adamus, for giving your opinions today. So, that being said, we can send you back to your team, and well, have fun and good luck to you guys today.
Thanks for the wishes.
All right, fantastic. And now that we are done these pre-match interviews, we are getting pretty close to game time, I would say, Rad.
Yeah, we have a short intermission coming up so that we can check to make sure that all of the teams are ready and the players are ready. I can, refill my rogue energy. I'm chugging this thing by the liter. It's so good. And we should be right back with you.
Welcome back, one and all. We are just about to get started. We are going to go into Oasis for our map number 1. We got Potaters, we got 4-on-3 Havoc. What do you think we're going to see here on this map, Brad?
I would love to see some of that wacky comps. You know, they said earlier on that they love to try new things. I really want to see that. That said, I don't know if Oasis is the best map to display those kind of things. It's typically very narrow, with not a lot of open space, and you know, running chaos and wacky stuff requires typically a bit more open space.
Yeah, I got to agree. I mean, Oasis is kind of one of those maps where you don't tend to see a lot of different stuff. It's one of those maps where, you know, the sort of meta for Oasis has really, I wouldn't say quite set in stone, but it's pretty close to that. You don't see a lot of teams really pull out wacky stuff on this map. It's usually later on in the series that you tend to see those creative strategies.
Yeah, I think so too. Specifically after a team is vibing and you know, especially when it's a little bit more one-sided, a team likes to run what they're running, and if you then catch them by surprise by running something else, you know, that's when most of the magic happens.
Yeah, I would say both these teams very close to heading out of the doorway. Both these teams on that brawl, of course. The Lucio, Ryan, Diva, Kinkisedev actually on the Zarya. Off-White Bang on the Mei Cree. Eucalyptus on the Cree, but Aragu Legend on that signature Doomfist to start things off as well. Both teams going to head up to the high ground. Havoc getting the early positional advantage, but Jumppenny gets booped off of the high ground. Gets walled off by Off-White though, so they can't capitalize on it just yet. And now, here we go, Potaters are going to start to engage here. HSD going low but not going down, but Eucalyptus will be the first casualty as Magma Boy as well will go down.
Yeah, very interesting.
However, Pace going back the other way though. Jumppenny, that Game Boy both down. Aragu Legend going down to a nice headshot from Off-White, of course. Havoc, it looks like they're just, Havoc just looks like they're just going to be cleaning up here.
Yeah, so Potaters had an opportunity there. They went in with the chaos. They did actually play in a very tight area up top into a mirror, where instead of the Mei, they ran the Doomfist here. But they were not able to out-brawl Havoc in this case, and their comp in this case is just a little bit stronger for that.
Yeah, Off-White on the Mei, I think it's going to be a huge difference maker. Those walls were fantastic. The wall really able to stop Potaters from capitalizing on that boop on a Jumppenny. Now they're going to try to come up on the high ground again to try to claim it. Blizzard going to come out early from off, but the Shatter's massive. It catches 3, and they're all going to go down. That Game Boy just going to clean up this objective. Another clean fight win. 4-3 Havoc.
For a team that's trying to cause chaos, the response from Potaters to that Mei Blizzard was very chaotic, and Dak Game Boy immediately capitalizing on that by going in, dishing out damage, and winning the fight for Havoc. Now, Potaters are going to have to make some changes, or have to try and figure out how to get into this area so that Aragu Legend can go and do his thing on the Doomfist.
Yeah, they gotta just create some space here for Aragu Legend to really get stuff done. The window's gonna come out early from Big Juice just to try to engage here. From the high ground, they're just gonna rain down this damage. Immortality Field's out, but it's just too late because Aragu Legend and Eucalyptus are both down. Another 2 added on by Bang. It looks like this is going to be another clean fight with 4-3 Havoc. Not a single casualty for them.
Now, a recurring theme here for Havoc is that they get their ult and they use it first. And, you know, this has been the past 75% at this point. Now, Potaters, however, are coming up on that ult advantage. So if they are careful with what they use and how they use it, they might be able to force Havoc off of the high ground and get that space that Aragu Legend is looking for.
Yeah, very true. I mean, Potaters, they just got to use those ults first. Havoc is really setting the pace here. Deadeye going to come up from Eucalyptus, but will get walled off by Off-White. Can they break the wall? Doesn't look like it. Meteor strike out from Aragu Legend as well, but no one down just quite yet. Another shatter from Jumppenny catches 2. Are they going to go down? No, no one touches the point. No one touches the objective as it goes up to 100%. 4-3 Havoc takes point number 1.
Yeah, I can't help but notice that Potaters seem to be a little bit on the waiting end. They're a little bit passive. They don't seem to know very well what the game plan is going in. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what's going on behind the scenes and in comms, but I just noticed that they're a little bit indecisive, I should say.
Yeah, Very true. I mean, 4 and 3 Havoc, they're the ones setting the pace. They're ulting first. They're using these engage ultimates. Like Big Juice, of course, using that window early. Off-White using that Blizzard early. And from that high ground, they're really able to just set the pace. Potatoes not able to answer. I think these same comps going to come out. Eucalyptus from the McCree going on to the May. We are going to see University. So, I mean, you can't really run anything other than Brawl here.
Potaters do have the Zarya instead of a Diva that you see on the side of Havoc. Now, I don't really know what the Diva in this case is supposed to eat besides the Blizzard. Orago Legend going in early and gets picked off by Big Juice on the BAP. Now, this is where the brawl normally happens, but Potaters are just not clumped up together. They're not playing together, and slowly but steadily Havoc is able to take advantage of that and just picks them off one by one as they take a point.
Yeah, Orago Legend going down early on that Doomfist. I don't know if he received the bubble from Conquistadav, which those bubble rollout sort of combos have just worked so well for Potaters in the past. So hopefully they can really start getting those going.
Yeah, and I said, of course, that Adak is going to be looking for the Blizzard. Obviously, he's also going to be looking for the grab here.
And there's the Shatter, but no one gets caught by it as Jumpany goes down to Conquistadav. That's a good pick, but Con Knight's down as well. That's both Reinhardts going to go down early here. Now Immortality Field as well going down for Magma Boy. Will get destroyed. As the Regular Legend is down as well. HSG, Eucalyptus both down to Bang. That's two fantastic shots just to turn a fight just like that. Now, Potaters, they're going down one by one once again to Bang. That's another fight win for 4 and 3 Havoc.
I just can't help but notice that Game Boy is controlling this space very well. He's all over the place, taking advantage of people out of position, and just really punishing the gameplay that Potaters is trying to force onto Havoc here as Off-White jumps off the map.
Game Boy eats the Blizzard from Eucalyptus. Off-White does go down, and what? 4 kills for Game Boy with the self-destruct, just like that. That's another fight win for 4 and 3 Havoc. Doesn't get much easier than that. Game Boy really trying to carry that fight.
Now, and if you were hesitant on agreeing with me on Game Boy having such a big impact on this game so far, I gotta say that just proved the point here. Dak is getting a ton of value here versus Potaters. They need to figure out how to limit his movement space here.
Yeah, Eucalyptus off the May, going onto the Reaper. Blizzard out early from Off-White. Is anyone going to get caught? Look, Conquistadav will get booped back into the Blizzard for Dacus to clean up. Fantastic pick from them. Con Knight is well going to go down. That's both tanks for Potaters. Already down. 93% accrued on the board, but I mean, Havoc is just getting the kills. Potaters, they can't find a foothold. 97%. Someone has to touch. Is it going to be HSG? Uses the beat, but can't touch. 4 and 3 Havoc and a dominant 200-0 are going to take map number 1.
Yeah, it's unfortunate if you're on the side of Potaters here to lose in this method, but they swapped off of the Doomfist comp a little bit too late, I believe. They did not really win the brawl at any stage. You're trying to, mirror that brawl with Havoc, and they're really struggling now to get point presence and to really turn this into their favor. So they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board to try and figure out what they can do to deal with Havoc.
Yeah. We did, of course, just see that play of the game. Game Boy eats the Blizzard and then shoots in a 4K Diva bomb. So, of course, really carrying that fight. Havoc going to take map number 1. So that being said, Potaters are going to get to choose map number 2. If I'm not mistaken, it will be Hybrid, I think, is the map number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to see what they're going to pick. But before we do that, we are going to head into a quick intermission. So that being said, if you have not already, make sure you look down below, hit that follow button, because every single one of those follows and subs, all those really help us do what we do on this channel, and it allows us to keep us going. So that being said, we are going to head into a quick intermission, and we are going to see you guys on the other side of that break. So don't leave your seats.
And don't forget, I'm sipping on this lovely Rogue Energy right now. Use code 413 Esports. Go to rogueenergy.com and get yourself some of that lovely Rogue Energy energy drink. Guys, we'll be back.
All right, welcome back, one and all. We're just about ready to head into map number 2 of this series. We have Potaters, we have 413 Havoc. We're heading on a Numbani, which is a map that I would say we actually don't see all that often. So, Rad, what do you think we're going to see here?
Now, this is the map where you could argue that maybe the Doomfist can get a bit more value. It's a lot more open. There's more high ground. I think Rugged Legend is going to be in his elements here. But, you know, that said, Havoc is still an incredibly good team compared to Potaters during the season. So, you know, I'm really excited to see how Potaters are going to try and create some of that chaos that they were talking about earlier in the interview and apply that here to Havoc.
Yeah, we're going to see what they can do. Of course, Potaters are going to be on defense first. Of course, the home team does defend first on every map. So that being said, it looks like they're going to be going for this double bubble. So they're going to have Con Knight and Kislev on that Winston Zarya. Magma Boy HSG are going to be on the Brig Ana. Eucalyptus on the Tracer, or Regular Legend, is obviously going to be playing that signature Doomfist, which we don't see a lot of the Doomfist in the double bubble. However, Potaters have shown that they can play that comp to a pretty good degree.
Yeah, so I think that comp right now is pretty decent. I am a little bit scared for Off-White here whenever he does decide to pull through with the Echo. Because really the only counter that Potaters have against the Echo is going to be the Ana. You don't want your Ana focusing down the Echo. I would be a lot more happy to see Eucalyptus on the Kree perhaps, or maybe a little bit more mobile hit scan hero. I am curious to see how they're going to deal with this.
Yeah, Off-White, of course, has shown to be a very strong Echo in these matches so far. Of course, gets value with most of those Echo copies, and just to be said, Jump Penny is going to use that bubble from Dak Game Boy to engage on this high ground. Not quite going to catch anything, but Con Knight goes down to Dak Game Boy. That's a massive pick. Magma Boy down as well. Big Juice will go down to a Regular Legend in the backline, as Adamas will as well. Both supports are down for the side of Havoc, but it looks like they can clean up the rest of this objective, as Kislev and HSG both go down. A Regular Legend just fighting for his life here in the backline, but will go down to Off-White sticky bombs. It looks like that's just going to be a Havoc. Despite having no support, they are going to be able to clean up.
And actually, this was a lot closer of a fight than the scoreline now suggests. Both supports for both teams went down early. So Eucalyptus and Uraga Legend got a pick on the support line for Havoc, and did create the opportunity there for Potaters. Now, if they can do this again and just try and go a little bit hard, a little bit faster, maybe they'll get a fight win out of that going into this next fight.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, just posturing on this high ground is going to be Potaters. Eucalyptus on the low ground, just trying to get some pester damage off. Havoc still pushing this cart nicely. Bubble coming out from Dak Game Boy. Off-White is going to use this copy onto the Winston. Con Knight goes down to Big Juice as well, and that's a double jump right here. The Primal Rage from Off-White is going to be anteed up, but won't go down to it, as Off-White still just creating chaos in this enclosed area. And now another Primal Rage. Jump Penny, just off the back of that, is going to Primal Rage himself. And see, this is just the momentum that 4-3 Havoc is able to keep up as Eucalyptus goes down to Off-White. If you're able to just pester the enemy, you're going to find picks like that. And now they're comfortably pushing this objective. They're getting awfully close to second point here.
Havoc opting to fight fire with fire, and Primal twice with Off-White copying the monkey here, and just creates so much chaos. In the meantime, Uraga Legend and Con Knight both get picks on the Ana on Havoc and on the Crane set themselves up, or set their team up for a team fight here. Ana does get res. Dak Game Boy on the Zarya very low, dealing with the Eucalyptus, who finally wins the fight there. And poor Adamesk sleeping on point gets finished off by Oraga Legend. That is a fight win for Potaters.
Yeah, that was fantastic from Potaters, I will say. Con Knight, alongside the bubble, was able to just, and the Eucalyptus as well, was able to just jump into that backline, take down Bang, as well as, I think it was Big Juice as well in that backline. That's exactly what you need from this double bubble comp. If they can keep that going, they can really rack up some team fight wins here. Now this is going to be Jump Penny up on this high ground, gets left up, but will get woken back up. Jump Penny getting pretty low, not quite down yet, but has no means of escape. Will go down. HSG, however, on the Ana, down the other side of things, Adamesk will go down to that Primal Rage in the backline from Con Knight. Gets left up, but actually woken up as well. So both Winstons are going to get woken up, even though they're hit by his sleep and a regular Legend. Just going to clean up the rest here with those punches.
Oraga Legend showing exactly why we call him the raid boss. What a performance so far in the past couple of minutes, with silently being carried by both of the conks on the Potato side. This is they're turning up the heat octave.
Yeah, if they can rack up some teamfight wins like this, they could put up a pretty strong defense as Jumpany gets up on the high ground with the bubble, but we'll have to drop shortly after. And now Con Knight is just going to try to jump onto the backline, not getting anything, but a regular Legend with the Meteor Strike catches Adamesk. That's a big opening pick, as Off-White is going to use that Echo copy onto the Doomfist. Will they be able to get anything done? Meteor Strike out. It's going to go onto the backline, as more and more of these punches coming out will be forced out of the copy and goes down to Magma Boy as well. Looks like Havoc are just going to back up. It looks like they're just going to wait for Off-White to come back in.
Now, Havoc is a dominant team. They've been doing very well on both the Brawl and on the Double Bubble, but it looks like they're hesitating a little bit here going into this fight. Now, they do get the open pick on Eucalyptus, and they have a moment here to engage onto the team. Nice move from Magma Boy here back as Bang goes into the high noon. The grab gets committed by Dak Game Boy and catches both of the support lineup. It doesn't look like Potaters are able to contest the point on time, while Havoc commits the ults and wins the fight here.
Yeah, it looks like Havoc was going to end up winning that fight either way. But they could have maybe stalled out for a little bit longer. Unfortunately, not able to do so. 3 minutes left on the clock for the side of 4-3 Havoc. So still plenty of time here. Con Knight is behind enemy lines as of right now with Eucalyptus. Regular Legend will opt to join them. Jump Penny will jump up. It's face down by Con Knight. Neither will go down. There's the pulse bomb out from Eucalyptus, not catching anyone, but Regular Legend and Eucalyptus both super low. Nano's out onto Con Knight, is in this backline. If he goes down low, I was gonna say he'll be able to use the Primal Rage, but can't do it before going down, as Off-White is cleaning up right now. Adamesk going to get a kill for himself onto Regular Legend. That's a battle Mercy if I've ever seen one. Jump Penny just in this backline as well, with the damage boost. Able to really clean everything up. They're getting awfully close. 3 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter. Can anyone touch? Conquistadab does. So does Con Knight. But is it going to be enough? 4-3 Havoc, they're cleaning up right now.
Yeah, there's going to be
so much damage as of right now. There's the Primal Rage just trying to stall things up from Con Knight, but goes down to Banks. Deadeye. That's absolutely fantastic. Pulse Bomb out as well. 4-3 Havoc, they're just cleaning this up right now. It is just now stall for the side of Potaters. Con Knight's back on the ball. Or I should say Conquistadab is back out on the ball, but this is just stall tactics right now. I mean, they're just trying to keep this one going for as long as physically possible. And yeah, no, this is gonna go the way of 4-3 Havoc.
Now, they do have a lot of bodies on the point here, so the stall could go on for a while. They started this fight at 2 minutes and 30 left. They're down to 1 minute and 40 as the last two support players, plus Eucalyptus. I don't know, Octave, this stall is pretty good here. Moira dying on point now, Eucalyptus being the last one. Getting the pulse bomb almost kills Dak Game Boy on the Zarya here. The stall is insane, and it's a full minute of stall now, Octave.
Oh my god.
But I think this is...
Stalling machines. Con Knight again on this objective. Already 50% to that Primal Rage, but it's not enough.
Wow.
Yeah, Havoc is going to take it. But the stall was fantastic. Only a minute 18 on the clock for 4-3 Havoc.
What a stall. A minute and 15 seconds of stalling. I'm looking back now at the delayed the delayed footage here, but they did in fact stall for that long. That's pretty insane. A science of life here, if I had to summarize that for Potaters. You know, on the attack round for Havoc. A minute and 18 is, you know, it could be worse, could be better, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, 4-3 Havoc, they were still able to complete the map with over a minute left, nonetheless. So, um, if they are able to hold Potaters to overtime, they will be able to just cap one tick with that minute 18. So, that being said, double bubble still on both sides of things. Potaters still going to opt to go for that comp that they were using last round. Winston, Zarya, of course, the Brig on Eucalyptus on the Tracer, Regu Legend on that Doomfist.
Yeah, and I'm trying to bring the energy to the Potatoes gameplay here, of course, but no matter how you look at it, Havoc is being pretty dominant right now. Potatoes were always going to have an uphill battle, and it's really showing now in Oasis specifically, and it's kind of slipping through the cracks here on Numbani as well. That said, Potatoes did show signs of life, and I can see them go on and win a couple more team fights.
Yeah, I think we can see Potaters definitely put up some good fights in these maps. We saw some life from them on that second point, really with some clean team fights, I should say, on point number 2. Just not quite enough to keep Havoc at bay. Or Con Knight getting ready for a dive. They're just kind of chilling behind this bus right now. No one's really moving all that much. I don't know if they're trying to scout or something like that, as a Regu Legend will roll out with Con Knight with the bubble. Con Knight's stunned up. He's low. He's going to have to jump out. Might go down. Won't, though, as Bang goes out to a Regu Legend. He's in this backline causing havoc. Will get anti-stunned up, and will go down, but that's going to leave a gaping hole for Taters to try to exploit here.
What a beautiful dive.
Yeah, that was a beautiful dive. Adamesk is down. Con Knight, HSG, however, both are also down, but the members of Havoc are all so low as Eucalyptus can just clean these up. Magma Boy, Conquistador are going to contribute to this kill feed as well. Potatoes are going to take point number 1.
What a beautiful dive. I can't do anything but cheers to Potatoes here with my cup of rogue energy. That was really well done, I gotta say. And now they have 5 minutes and 25 seconds after capturing the point to take the payload and drop it off at the museum all the way over on point C. Now they are still running the same comp here, and it did actually work out for them very well. I want to see them set up and coordinate that again with Eucalyptus on the Tracer, who's basically just doing a budget Sombra, I think I want to say here, but holding his own in a duel with Off-White.
Yeah, Off-White we have seen very good on that Tracer. We've seen Off-White do very well. Oh, look at the punch, all right, you legend. Look at the prediction onto Off-White. That was fantastic. We'll go down to Bang. Bang was able to peel on that Kree, but that was just fantastic from Ryu Legend. Great prediction there, as Con Knight is going to jump up onto this high ground as much as Adamesk is going to try to defend his support partner. It's not going to be enough because Potatoes are cleaning up. Bang gets 2. Will use that Deadeye as well. Can he get more? He gets 2. That's 4 for Bang as of right now. Off-White's still alive and kicking as well. He's going to get the stun into a Regu Legend as Magma Boy goes down. Look, that was just an absolute fight carry from Bang.
What a clutch moment for Bang here. Not only getting that those 2 kills, but also preventing a Raga Legend from getting value onto his support backline. Really clutch play by Bang here, as we are seeing Eucalyptus point the guns forward, trying to get the cap here on point B with everyone on the Havoc team watching. Now, the engage here is what matters. Octave, what do you think? Are they going to pull this through?
Yeah, and Magma Boy does have that rally, so they are a little bit ahead on the support ultimate, but Adamesk, Big Juice not far behind. Now here's the dive. Will get booped off by Adamesk, and the Nano is going to get used as well. Con Knight has no jump. He's going to use it as of right now, but Adamesk gets the bubble. Look at Adamesk just taking all of this space, just denying all of this space from Con Knight. It's beautiful. That's what you like to see with the break play. Primal Rage is out from Jump Bunny to try to just cause some havoc. Beatrice is going to go down to that Meteor Strike from Regu Legend though. He's on this objective. He's trying to punch everyone off. Adamesk is using that rally. Gets low. Not quite down yet. The stun will miss. The Regu Legend will finish him off. Bang gets 2 with the Deadeye. That's a glimmer of hope for Havoc. As Jump Bunny's down, someone's got a touch here. Off-White is going to be able to do it, and now so will Bang. But they're going to fight an uphill battle and can't do it. Potatoes are going to take point number 2. They got 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, that was rough. Off-White having to push into a Tracer and a Brig. It was going to be very difficult to hold. Now, they have 4 minutes and 18 seconds to get to the museum, Octave. I don't know about you, but Potatoes are actually looking quite good going into this next couple of fights. They have an ult disadvantage compared to Havoc, who's sitting on the grab. Just as I
early.
mentioned.
Grabs early on, and as well as the nano boost on a jump penny, but Magma Boy is the first casualty. Con Knight shortly going to follow. Havoc looks like that's going to be a clean fight win. Potaters, they're just going to back up here. But I gotta say, Potaters going into that third point, they had more time by a pretty wide margin than Havoc did when they got to the same point.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what I am anticipating here is for Havoc to swap into a more brawl type comp. I think Adamus might stay on this break to deal with a Rago Legend, but you know, this is where you brawl, and Potaters are yet to make any sort of change to try and accommodate that. So if they don't change to a brawl to mirror that, and we know that Havoc is you know, good at brawl, it's gonna be real rough for them.
Off-White just cleaning up in the back line. That's exactly the play you like to see from your Tracer. HSD down as well. Havoc, they're just going to press their advantage. There's another 2 will be added on to Off-White's resume in this fight. With the Pulse Bomb, Eucalyptus will go down to Dak Game Boy as well. Yeah, this is fantastic. Adamesk not opting to go over to that Lucio, staying on the Brig. The Brig is just really able to just deny so much space from this double bubble.
Now looking at the ults here, Octave, Potaters are in a massive advantage, so this is enough to pull them through one fight win. They're going to need 2 fight wins, however, to bring the payload down to point C and to take the map. They have 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, and they're getting awfully close to matching that time bank that Havoc put up earlier.
Nano Boost is going to come up onto Con Knight, but the grab, look at the grab, it's massive. Alongside the Pulse Bomb, everyone is so low, and Potaters is cleaning up. The Immortality Field was not quite enough to keep everyone up. The Baby Diva is still alive, and they are going to stagger out Dak Game Boy, and now Potaters, they are going to push this one forward. Yeah, they are still definitely going to have to go through another team fight, though. Now
they're going to have to push a lot harder than that to actually make the time bank here for Havoc. Havoc has the ult advantage right now with the High Noon just to take the space. They do commit the rally here on the engage, but a massive shatter.
Alright, your Legend is down to that game, but Jump Penny is so low, kept up by the Immortality Field from Big Juice. That's massive. The window's out as well as Bang will catch 2 through it. 1 on Con Knight, 1 on Eucalyptus. Potaters, they've got to back up. That's a fight that they cannot win.
What a play here by Havoc to deny the engage, to stop the payload in its tracks, and they have now you know, passed the point where Potaters can beat the time bank, and now Potaters is thinking about finishing this with seconds left on the clock, because if they don't, Havoc is going to have a minute and I want to say 48 seconds to take point. Actually, they would have 2 minutes and 18 seconds to take a single tick if Potaters don't finish this with time left in the bank.
Yeah, very true. And the punch is going to come out from Ragu Legend. The will is not enough to catch Off-White out, though. Meteor Strike is out from Ragu Legend. Will it catch anyone? It will catch a couple, doing a punch damage. No one goes down, however, to it. Ragu Legend will convert on a kill, though, against Off-White. That's a big opening kill. Dak Game Boy is going to launch that bomb in. How many will it catch? It's going to be 0. Will remech as well. Ragu Legend goes down to Bang, though. That's a fantastic headshot from him, doing so much damage. Now that's your main damage dealer down as Magma Boy as well, going to be dispatched. Adamesk is going to go down to Conquistadap as well, but is it going to be enough? Bang and Eucalyptus are just trying to battle it out on this in this backline here. However, Potaters, they're getting the kills, but Jump Penny trying to take the clutch into his own hands, gets 2 for himself. But Potaters, they're getting the kills they need. That Game Boy is just trying to survive as long as he can. Eucalyptus in this backline trying to duel Adamesk. It's going to be enough, because look at the spawn advantage. The spawn advantage is just there right now for Havoc. Bang, going to use that Deadeye in the backline. Is anyone going to go down to it? As Con Knight is just going to try to touch this objective for as long as physically possible. Magma Boy going to use that rally to try to keep everyone up. Someone has to touch. Potaters, they have their members back though, and they're getting kills with help from Ragu Legend and Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus as well. That's 2 for both. Ragu Legend, Eucalyptus going to go crazy in this backline right now as Magma Boy catches Jump Penny. Dire straits right now for Havoc. It is in overtime, so there is some solace in that. But Potaters are in a real good position to complete this map right now. 3 on the cart, and it looks like this is just going to be stalls for 4 and 3 Havoc. Now they want to stop them right here. They don't want to go into another round. Is anyone going to touch? No one can touch.
Wow.
They had a few members able to touch there, but it's just not enough. Potaters, they're going to finish the map.
HSG with a clutch sleep onto Off-White, coming in on the Doomfist, trying to get that pick at the backline, but that grab just now holding Havoc in place and allowing Potaters to finish the map. They just bought themselves some time to try and turn this into a draw. And if I were Potaters right now, I will take a draw over a loss any day.
Yeah, that is for certain. 4-3 Havoc, they are going to have 1 minute and 18 seconds. So, I mean, you're not really drowning in time here. You really don't have that much. I mean, if you were going to turn any map into a draw, it is going to be this one. All you have to do is defend for that 1 minute and 18 seconds. And you've got a draw under your belt.
What a game so far. You know, a lot of people coming into this match expected Havoc to completely roll Potaters, but Potaters, if anything, are showing that you cannot underestimate this team. They're showing signs of life. They're winning team fights. You know, I think that they have a pretty good shot here at making the playoffs. Octave.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, only one team in this tournament is going to be eliminated. And Potaters, of course, getting that extra win from the disqualification of Bad at Overwatch, that really helps them. So, I mean, their record is definitely not bad. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're 2-3 as of right now. So,
They are.
yeah, so, I mean, it's definitely not a bad scoreline to have. They are in a really good spot to make this playoffs.
You know, I would love nothing more than to see Potaters. I would love nothing more than to see all of the teams make the playoffs, honestly. But more interesting right now is this current engage as Potaters go in to try and hold this and prevent the going down 2-0. But you know, picks left and right.
Yeah,
Potatoes on the back
is just gonna swing. Yeah, Havoc, they're just cleaning this one up. First fight, that's all it's gonna take. They're gonna take map number 2. Potaters made it close, but it was not to be. 4-3 Havoc takes map number 2.
That was that was a lot of fun to watch. I gotta say, that was a very stark contrast with the first game that we saw here on Oasis. Potaters coming in, signs of life, winning fights and doing very well. Havoc, however, being too good a team to lose a map or to draw a map to Potaters as of right now. Maybe you can see them do better in the next map.
Yeah, we are gonna see what they can do. Because of course, that was definitely not a blowout for 4-3 Havoc. That was by no means a blowout. Potaters really making that map pretty close, I would say. It is going to be their map pick again as well. So if they are going to take a map in this series, it's going to be right here.
Absolutely. And before we go and take another short break, I do want to point out that you know, being here today on the 4-3 Esports Twitch does get you a lot of nice perks. Not only are you earning 4-3 coins to you know to bet and win, but you also get a discount whenever you order some of that lovely Rogue Energy. I'm sipping on it right now. It's great. 4-3 Esports code during the checkout. You know, not only am I sipping on that Rogue Energy, I'm doing it while sitting in this lovely Secret Lab chair. It's one of the best purchases I've ever made in my life. 413e.com/Secret Lab. Get yourself a gamer chair. You know, best purchase, easily.
Yeah, I've heard that they're good. I mean, Rad, of course, you got a Secret Lab chair yourself. You have been raving about it, I would say, to the members of 413. So, definitely some quality stuff that we are getting sponsored by today. So, if you're interested, make sure you go. Make sure you get one of those fantastic products. That being said, we are about to head into a 3-minute intermission. So, if you haven't already, maybe grab some popcorn, maybe get some water, stay nice and
Get
hydrated.
some Rogue Energy.
Yeah, some Rogue Energy. If you have it, go grab some Rogue Energy if you really want, just to keep yourself awake, because you are going to need that energy if you want to cheer on your favorite team. That being said, we are going to head into an intermission, so don't leave your seats, and we will be right back with map number 3. right. I'm ready because we are about to head into map number 3. We've got Potaters. We got 4-on-3 Havoc. It is currently 2-0 for 4-on-3 Havoc. Potaters are going to look to turn this series around. Rad, what do you think?
I think it's make or break here. We're going to Route 66, and another map where there's a lot of options here for Potaters to take advantage of the Doomfist. We saw what it can do for them on Numbani, and if Numbani is anything to go off of, they're going to try and do the same thing and try and wreak even more havoc. But before we actually go into um, Route 66, I do want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here, for watching us. We are in week 6 right now of the 4-on-3 Esports Championship Series, and as the quote unquote unofficial commissioner, if you want to give it a title for the 4-on-3 Esports organization, I'm not on cast very often. Normally, it's the wonderful team, Octave, Boat, Jump. All of the guys. I'm specifically bringing up Jump and Boat now because they are playing on Havoc. But obviously, our team is much larger than that. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone for staying with us, to to be patient and to join us for watching these games. It really warms my heart to see so many people here today for Potaters versus Havoc and during all of the other games. I want to also say that it's lovely having these affiliates to work with, Secret Lab and Rogue Energy, of course. But you guys, if you have a free spare Amazon Prime, consider subbing to 4-on-3 Esports with your Prime. I can say, as the person in charge of all of this, that the vast majority, and by that I mean like 98 or 99% of that goes to the production team. So everyone you hear, everything you see, the vast majority of that goes to the people involved with the production of of the tournament. So thank you very much for considering, for following, for even considering to sub to us. At the bottom of the page, if you can't sub but you want to support us in any other way, we do have a donate button. Thank you very much. You don't have to, obviously, but if you do decide to do that, thank you very much. It gets put to use in producing tournaments like this. So in advance, guys, thank you so much for being here. We are going into Route 66. And I'm very excited to see what Potaters are going to do here. Havoc obviously being very dominant so far, putting up a great defense. But signs of life from Potaters make me hopeful that this is going to be a very exciting map.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be probably one of the closest maps in this series, I would say. Of course, the double bubble has looked pretty good for Potaters. On Numbani, of course, especially, a Ragu Legend will probably opt to play the Doomfist because that's been good on it. Route 66, not a bad map for Doomfist whatsoever. However, it does look like we are going to see a Ragu Legend on that McCree, which we have seen a Ragu Legend on the Cree, and definitely no slouch on that hero either.
Oh, absolutely. He's been very good on the Kree. We rave about his raid boss Doomfist play, but he's shown that he has a mean McCree. Now, normally we see Eucalyptus on the McCree, but I think he's had a lot of success here on the Tracer as well. So I'm very excited to see what the Tracer Kree are able to pull off here. Now, they run a double bubble type of comp with a very immobile McCree, so I would argue that you'd probably want to run the Doomfist, but, I don't know, perhaps they're anticipating that Havoc will know how to deal with that. Perhaps they know that they are going to run Echo here, in which case the Kree is really good.
Yeah, certainly. I will point out that 4-on-3 Havoc does have SS Boat Name will be coming in for that Game Boy. To play the Zarya, which we have seen Boat Name do very well on this Zarya. However, that Game Boy's Diva is just so good. Definitely no slouch on the Zarya since Boat Name though, as Khanate will hop on the backline, will get taken down though. As 4-on-3 Havoc, they're putting the pressure on as of right now. Jump Penny is going to try to hop onto these supports. Just to try to gain some face here. No one's on the cart, but that will be rectified soon enough. 4-on-3 Havoc's cleaning up right now.
Now, Potaters are on the back foot here. They have lost some of the engagements early on. Now, they aren't down by any means. They can actually contest Con Knight going in very early with a nano, as Potaters are defending from Off-White on a
double Winston.
double Winston.
Look at that, as Off-White will collect 3, I should say, with the Winston copy. Uses the Primal Rage, but it doesn't look like he's even going to need it. As actually will get a Ryu Legend as well, so I think that was a 4th kill from Off-White with that Winston copy. That is the value you need from the Echo. We really have seen Off-White pop off on the Echo on the Route 66 as of late.
Off-White is such a good player on the DPS after having joined Havoc midway through the season, actually early on through the season, but some of you may remember Off-White on Hailstorm, that's the 4-3 Hailstorm, back in Season 2 of OCS, and he was a main tank player, so to see him copy the Winston there, I'm even more scared of that than I am of his Echo.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, 4-3 Havoc, this is another fight where they're just cleaning up here. Already 3 picks, 4 picks for them. Eucalyptus in a lot of trouble. It goes down to Jump Penny's Primal Rage. And, well, Havoc, they're cycling their ultimates pretty well right here. Only 2 ultimates used to win that fight, and they've got another 3 in the reserves. They've got the Nano, they've got the Deadeye, and they also have the Graviton Surge from SS Boatname, crucially.
Now, this is so far very different from what we've seen on Numbani. Havoc is definitely flexing dominance right now, as Potaters commit a couple of ults here, but Con Knight going in, gets slept, and bang, just finishes.
Oh, Jump Penny gets melted with the anti from HSG, and Jump Penny's just gonna get absolutely just picked and destroyed. Both the picks, however, going both ways. As Off-White with another copy. That's 3 kills for him. 2 with the Primal Rage right from the Winston. It looks like they're gonna cap. No one can even touch right now. The Primal Rage used from Con Knight to try to stall it out, but he can't touch the objective. As 4-3 Havoc, they're rolling through right now. 5 minutes on the clock for them.
Potaters are not sure what to do against this. Havoc is being super dominant right now on this double bubble type comp as they slowly make swaps. It seems to me to a brawl comp, or they're at least preparing for it. I don't know what Potaters have to do here in this case to try and deal with that. Besides swapping to a brawl, this is a very close knit, not a close knit, a very close environment, and Potaters are going to have to pull something out of the hat here.
That Graviton Surge out early from SS Boatname catches HSG in it. So they're going to be down their Baptiste for this fight. Not exactly a great fight to take if you're down your Baptiste. Jumpany will get nano, but gets moved off by Magma Boy. That's a big move, and now the pick are going back the other way. Potaters, are they going to be able to turn this one around? A Regular Legend is down, but the picks from Eucalyptus are going back the other way. Conquistador is down, but Eucalyptus with another kill. That's 3 for him this fight. Now Bang in a lot of trouble here as Magma Boy catches him. Potaters finally going to get a foothold.
Very good defense here by Potaters as I talk about swapping to a brawl. They do make a swap somewhat halfway through. I think they are reluctant to swap off the break, as I say that they just swap from the break to the Lucio. But you know, Havoc's still on the dive here, going for the engage.
Con Knight and Regular Legend both down. Oh my goodness, off the back of Eucalyptus going down. That's already 3 down for the side of Potaters. Havoc, they're cleaning up. Jump Penny is going to use the Primal Rage to try to displace everyone here. Cart still moving solidly. Immortality Field's out from HSG. Will get destroyed as Eucalyptus is down. It's just going to be the stalls now, but no one can touch. As 4-3 Havoc, they complete the map with a dominant 3 minutes 27 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, y'all got any more of that Potaters Numbani stall? That was not a good stall at all compared to what we saw there on the other map. Unfortunately, you know, time bank here is 3 minutes and 27 seconds. It's quite substantial, Octave. I don't know to what extent Potaters can, you know, counter this. They're gonna have to pull a lot more than just a fight win out of the hat here.
Yeah, Potaters are going to have to cobble something together real quick, because if not, they're going to be staring down a 3-0 map record, which is not something they are looking for, of course. It looks like Potaters on their attacking phase are going to start with the double bubble once again. So of course the Winston Zarya, the Brig on Eucalyptus on the Tracer, Regular Legend. We don't know what he's going to opt for yet, but it'll probably be either the McCree or Doomfist or something like that. On the other end of things, a pretty, yeah, it's a mirror on the other end of things, so both these teams running out on the same comp.
I don't know how I feel about the Kree. Okay, Oraga Legend just swapped. He just heard what I said and swapped to the raid boss Doomfist here. I want to see more of the raid boss Doomfist because together, you know, with Eucalyptus on the Tracer on Numbani, they were able to get a ton of value. So I want to, you know, I want to see them pop off here on this map again. I think that's what they need to win this. You know, with time left in the bank.
Yeah, they are going to need some heroics here if they are going to match this time bank. On top of Big Earls is where Havoc is going to sit. Jumpany just trying to get some early damage off.
Thank you.
And yeah, both these teams just kiting for now. And now here's the engage from Con Knight alongside the bubble. Will get stunned up, going down real low, but Jumpany will be the first to fall to Regu Legend. Down here, Winston, that's not exactly a great spot to be if you're Havoc. SSBO named the sole tank left, as Offway will go down to Eucalyptus as well. 4 members of Havoc remaining. Now it looks like they're going to be able to take Big Earls here, as Con Knight is just going to try to jump up onto this gas station here. Pushing the cart solidly forward as Potaters as of right now.
Now I think we focus a lot on Uraga Legend here, but Con Knight just going on the end of, at the start of this engage, going in, fake the dive as Eucalyptus, you know, picks off Off-Fight on the Tracer and wins the fight here. I think they can rely on that type of chaos. Havoc in the first fight not able to respond to that kind of chaos, but right now it looks like they're doing a pretty good job of fending off Potaters here in this fight.
Yeah, yeah, the picks are just going the way of 4-3 Havoc. HSG will get off weight at the last second, but it's not enough. That will get stunned up and killed, so that's a fight 1 for 4-3 Havoc.
Very, very good defense by Havoc, keeping their cool. They do have a raid boss in the backline, and Off-White is trying to deal with this, and is doing a pretty good job so far. He needs to get one more shot, and he almost loses his life, but manages to win the duel versus Doomfist, and to be honest, Tracer could always win that. As we watch Bang take out Eucalyptus, and you know, in Eucalyptus defense, McCree should always win that.
Yeah, if he's got flashbang up, that is an easy win for the Kree. Pulse bomb out early from Off-White, catches Magma Boy. Yeah, that is the aggression right there from Havoc, as Con Knight is down as well. They're not even giving Potaters a chance to group up here.
Very dominant play by Havoc so far on the defense. It doesn't look like Potaters, you know, after that first win fight, is able to deal with the aggression that Havoc is throwing at them right now. That said, ults coming up on both sides of the spectrum here, with Jumpany and Boatname sitting on ults, Bang and Catgirl Emily on the ults here as well. I don't know. What do you think? Potator's gonna drag out a fight win here?
Yeah, you never know. Almost 5 ults coming up. Actually, almost 6, I would say, as Eucalyptus catches Off-White. Nano on to Jumpany. Going to be able to do a lot of damage here as Bang gets 2. That's both DPS down, but Catgirl Emily is down as well. This is pretty even as of right now. Both DPS down for Potaters, but 2 as well down on the other side as Con Knight goes down to S's Boatname. That could be the difference maker as Potaters is in a little bit of trouble here.
I do believe
Jumpany collapsed on and down, yeah.
I do believe Jumpany almost got booped off of the map. He did have Primal up and jumped back up, but he almost lost his life there. I don't know if that was intentional, or I didn't catch whether Magma Boy booped him there. But that was very interesting to see as Eucalyptus takes on Off-White, and we see Uraga Legend on the Genji. I have seen him play the Genji, but I haven't seen him play the Genji as of late, so I wonder how they're going to incorporate this into dealing with Havoc.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd choice. We don't tend to see a lot of Genji. Well, Sun's out early from Off-White, but doesn't get anything as Uraga Legend finishes him off. That's some aim right there. Graviton surges out early from Kisadab, and looks like they're going to clean up these kills. Boatname's down. Jumpany down as well. Stackus with that rally is trying to fight for his life right now. Is getting pressured out, though probably will go down shortly, and now finally Potaters with the help of Ryu Legend. That's a 4K for him. Potaters are finally going to be able to gap.
That is a 4K for him, but they are pushing in overtime right now, so they're going to have to play real carefully. Off-White is prowling for a pick-off here on the support backline as Con Knight goes back to defend against Jumpany and Off-White. Roten going in now, Bang with a high noon. Catches
Bang not going to catch anything with a high noon. But all the members of Potaters are so low right now as Catgirl and Lily Dactus both going to get kills. Bang and Off-White as well. The members of Potaters are falling. It looks like this is going to be 4-3 Havoc taking the series. They are going to win this in a clean 3-0.
Unfortunately, Uraga Legend gets no value with the blade. That was his moment to seal the deal and to officially win the raid boss title for the the rest of the season here. It looks like Potaters, however, need to go back to the drawing boards to try and figure out how to deal with a team as dominant as Havoc. Off-White has been dominant on the Echo, copying into the main tank. That's how I, am most afraid of dealing with someone like Off-White. Havoc takes the win here, Octave.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Potaters. They've been steadily improving in terms of just these last few weeks, but Havoc is just an entirely different animal. I mean, these guys were 6-0 for a reason before this match. Now improving to a clean 7-0. So these guys, um, still undefeated. No one has yet been able to find the secret to taking down the giants that are 4-3 Havoc.
Speaking of which, the Giants 4-3 Havoc, they are dominant for a reason. I think one of the one of the things that we overlook as often as we do is the fact that to be able to have a team as dominant as this, you need to have a very, very solid backline, a very, very solid fundamental. And I think that as we go into our MVP, just a moment while we wait for the screen to be up here, as we go into the MVP selection, I think something that we've overlooked these past couple of weeks is how much of a staple and consistent pick Havoc has here in their team manager, Jumpeni.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, Jumpeni has really been one of the cornerstones of this 4-3 Havoc team. He's really set the pace in a lot of these games. Jumpeni, of course, being one of the more vocal players on that squad, of course, really able to dictate the pace, and that's exactly what he was able to do today.
I think so, and it's been a recurring theme for the matches that they have played. One of the the consistent things in Havoc is that Jumpeni is always on the main tank. I think I've seen one map of Havoc playing without Jumpeni there. So I think if I had to pick an MVP just for the consistency that he brings to the team, I would say I'd have to give it to Jumpeni.
Yeah, I mean, Havoc has gone too long without having given Jumpeni the player of the match, so um, he deserves one at some point. Because this guy, he's been reliable all season long. One of the main reasons as to why this team has been as dominant as it is. So yeah, I have no qualms with giving this guy MVP. Hopefully we can get this guy in here for an interview very shortly.
We're gonna do just that. Hey, welcome, Jumpeni, to the cast. You've earned MVP, my guy. Phenomenal job. Congratulations on the win. How are you
Thank you.
feeling right now?
I'm feeling really good. It was a good game. Honestly, I think we might have underestimated Potaters. I know the score kind of looks like a 3-0 because it is, but um, sorry, I'm a little scrambled. That was a good game. That Doomfist genuinely had us stressing. Their coordination is really good. If I was the team that had to play Potaters next week and I wasn't Havoc, I would be really worried. They really have shown a lot of improvement. They played really good today.
It showed. Map 1 on Oasis was very dominant on the side of Havoc, but as soon as you guys went into Numbani with Potaters,
Yeah.
it became a lot more of a struggle, a lot more of a fight here. I gotta ask you though, over the past couple of weeks, we've handed out a lot of MVPs for Havoc, but we haven't given you MVP yet. And one of the consistencies throughout the games that we've seen is that you are always there, with the exception of maybe one map. I want to say on Root versus. I want to say you New Haven Varsity. I don't
Yeah.
actually remember
Yep.
exactly,
Root
but
versus New Haven. Yeah.
you were in here yesterday, I believe, for an interview for Big Juice, as Big Juice took the MVP. But you finally won MVP, Jumpeni.
Yeah.
If you had to pick someone that you want to highlight for today's fight, or for today's match rather, who would you want to recognize?
Oh, there's a lot of good options, obviously. I mean, as you said, like this is my first MVP. It's pretty much gone through most of the team. And that's great. Like as a main tank player, my role with the team is just really to make sure everyone else looks good. And if they're getting MVPs, at the end of the day, that feels really good for me. And so the fact that I was able to win it just shows how much they're supporting me in turn. If I had to pick a specific teammate, it would be really hard. I always mention Sev Big Juice, who won MVP last time. So this time I think I'll go for Boat Name. Had a really good game when he came in. We also had Emily coming in on a sub. Emily's a new player to the team, and really like considering how Numbani looked versus how like Route 66 looked, Catgirl Emily played really good. She had a great game today. So for a new player that hasn't played too many maps, I'd probably call out Catgirl Emily as having a really solid game today.
100% agree with that. Octave, is there anything you want to ask?
I gotta say, you guys are currently sitting at a cool 7-0, so definitely one of the most dominant teams in this tournament. What is the mindset going into your next few games to really keep up this just streak of absolute dominance?
Yeah, 7-0 feels good. Like you said, keeping it up is big. I think our biggest mentality is that we really don't want to get complacent. If anything, we've started scrimming more, and even earlier, and having more VODs just because, um, I think in a way our success in terms of being undefeated has allowed us to look at maps that we're specifically losing and sort of fine tune specific things and getting better. So the biggest thing for our mentality has been to keep working and if anything to work harder.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well said.
That's all the questions from me, Rad, so take it away.
Absolutely. Jump, thank you very much. Great job. Congratulations on the win and congratulations on the MVP. I will be dragging you back to your team as we prepare for our next match that is coming up.
Thank
Oh, I actually dragged him away too early. I'm very sorry about that, Jumpeni. I have a lot to learn being on the broadcast from you, as frequently as you are on the broadcast. So I do apologize for that, guys. You know, I think that we saw a great match. I think we saw Havoc put up a good show. I think we saw Potaters put on a good show as well. Let's take a quick look at the fixtures because we are not done yet for today. As a matter of fact, we have one more match coming up, and that is going to be, I want to say the home team is 4-3 Catalyst. It is. I'm playing that match versus University of New Haven Varsity. Uh, so I'm very excited to be showing you that match. But if we look at the fixtures for this week, we did see Charge Blue take on Riot, and a 3-0 in favor of Charge Blue was a result of that. And Potatoes in another 3-0 lost to Havoc in a very dominant performance. And looking at this and how it translates into the standings, you mentioned it earlier, Octave. Havoc is sitting on a clean 7-0 or a cool 7-0, I want to say. The only change that I can see here coming in the standings production is the last match of week 6. Catalyst going up against the University of New Haven Varsity. This is a match rather, that if University of New Haven Varsity wins this, they will actually add another win to their score, and that would move them up ahead of Potaters, who are sitting in 7th right now. Looking at the standings as we pull them up right now. Thank you very much, production.
Wonderful.
The implications of the next match coming up, New Haven Varsity, if they win, if they take the map here, they're going to go, potentially even with map differential. If this is a 3-0 for New Haven Varsity, they're going to move up to position number 7, and Potatoes are going to fall down to 8th, which, is still enough to qualify. But at that stage, you're going to really be worried about Riot. All it takes for Riot to pass that is a 3-0 win to break even. So, they're going to be very, very close for this now. On the other hand, Catalyst is sitting in 3rd, ahead of Nightshade, only because of the map differential here. If Catalyst goes up and wins this 3-0, the map differential will not be enough to push past WVU Mountaineers. And, that said, the only real difference maker there is going to be next week when we are going to watch in WVU Mountaineers take on Catalyst. So having said that, guys, we do have one more match coming up, and we will have to be going into a quick intermission here to make sure that everything is set up for this match. But one more match to go. Octave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this one is going to be extremely exciting. A lot of playoff implications here for both of these squads, I would say. 4-3 Catalyst really fighting up in those top few spots for that seeding. Especially against New Haven Varsity, this is a match that they have to take here. New Haven Varsity as well, if they're able to get this win, that is just an absolutely huge win. To really sort of cement them into those playoff spots. Because of course, Union Hayden Varsity is one of those teams that is fighting for those playoff spots. Of course, one of these teams are going to be eliminated before we head into those playoffs. So, um, we are nearing the end of the season shortly. So, every win that these teams can get is absolutely massive.
Yeah, I want to point out as well that Catalyst and Havoc are both playing double matches in week 6, meaning I don't have the facts straight right now, but in one of the weeks coming up, I think it's for both teams week 9, they will not actually be playing. So we'll get a bit of a taste of what the final standings are going to look like in the 8th week with 5 more, no, I want to say 4 actually more teams playing in a match in the last week, but we are in fact 3 weeks away from concluding the season and going into the playoffs. So this is where everything happens. This is where you got to step it up, get those map wins, and get those points to qualify for the playoffs, and not only qualify but also get seeded high up, so that your fight for the number 1 position here is going to be less of a struggle and less work. The higher you place, the less matches you have to play to win it all at the end of the day. So I'm very excited. A couple of weeks coming up as we now go into an intermission, guys, to prepare for Catalyst versus New Haven Varsity. We will be back with you in just a couple of minutes.
Alright, everybody, welcome back. 4-3 CS. We have another exciting match. I'm Jump Penny. with my partner Hawkshaw here. Very excited, guys.
Yeah, the nanos are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was here now, I'd probably kiss him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Those ultimates were built faster than someone would get canceled on Twitter for saying K-pop sucks. That was a scrappy fight if I've ever seen one.
Here we go. MJ Reyes is maybe reporting in Gen Chat that he's drinking a 2-liter. Here we go.
Indeed, what's going on?
Not much is going on. I know that what's about to be going on is a very exciting match between two of the top teams as far as the standings are concerned. How do you guys feel about Nightshade going in this matchup?
We're not too concerned. We're hoping for a quick 3-0 because I got a date with the suspect's mother after this at around let's see, 9 o'clock, so
9
Eastern
o'clock.
time. So I'm hoping for a quick 3-0. So I gotta catch this date. I'm taking her to. She's a classy girl, so she wants to go to Longhorns.
Oh, making the great escape through the mini room and being back with his team to again keep doing up the DPS. Shadow comes in but is blocked by their own wall from Edgy. Unfortunate.
And they do it again. MJ Reyes. Look who's closer to Shatter. Look who's closer to Shatter. It's MJ Reyes. CQ1 has some ground to cover here.
And don't forget, from what we saw last time, this is a defensive team. I don't know what it is, but they're just better on the defense than they are on the offense.
Oh, he can't stop somebody!
Yeah, of course that barrage is going to be online too very soon, but then the only support ult that we're going to see, it'll be interesting to see what kind of difference that can make as the high noon comes out immediately. There's the grab, there's the window, there's the immortality field, but the barrage is huge, gets a 4-5K, oh my god!
What a huge play by Icy there, cleaning up the rest of the team through a grab and a window and an immortality.
Your ranked games, don't just randomly throw your tire, run it down main. It's going to get broken, you're going to get no value. You're not Prism.
A good window placement, immortality saving the team many, many times.
Absolutely. Now they're coming into this. Both sides have this beat. It'll be interesting to see which side can sustain the longest. A true testament, but the Shadow doesn't make that easy. Me 98. Good God, man. Let them live.
What a very good play by Me 98.
Honestly, I don't like the taste of coffee. It's not my favorite. And even the people that I do know that like coffee, they put so much sugar in, it almost seems nasty.
That's me. I'm that guy.
Like, it just feels unhealthy, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
And then I start thinking, right? And I'm like, well, there's got to be a sugarless way to get caffeine in my daily morning routine.
There's got to be, right?
Well, who else but Rogue Energy, right? Rogue Energy, 413 Esports on Rogue Energy for 10% off your purchase.